Hey mini enthusiasts, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. Well, I bet you can't guess what job we're going to be starting today. So yes, I'm going to be getting everything ready to put the engine back in. It's another great milestone, another big step towards the car being finished. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Right, so today's job is going to be getting the engine back in, which is quite exciting. Couple of things I need to do before the engine goes in. I need to finish off that brake pipe. I could do it with the engine in, but it's a little bit fiddly. Finish off the brake pipe. I need to get the rear subframe mounting bolts in. They're not in yet. We're just in on the tower bolts and on the front teardrop. And then pull the drive shafts out of the way and we can drop the engine in, and I hope I haven't forgot anything. Right, so the first job I'm going to do is make up this brake pipe end. I've got my union on there, don't forget that. And we got our new die, so thanks for the advice on that. Someone was criticising my brake pipe making on the previous video. It's not even finished yet, don't criticise me yet. And just a point, I've mentioned it before, but this conifer hose, which is a sort of copper nickel alloy, is much harder to bend than pure copper. So these tools, if you haven't got them, you can get them off eBay, off Amazon. They are so cheap. Probably pick one up for about 15-20 quid. Most important bit is getting the right amount of brake pipe through the hole there. There's probably about 4 mil there. Too much and it will squash over, and too little and it won't flare the end properly. So I usually measure, it's about 4 mil. Now, this is like a cantilever design, this tool, because you'll find the copper brake pipe, it grips really well, but this harder Cupra nickel brake pipe, it has to be gripped pretty well. So you tighten this end up first, and it looks like the tool is bent or broken, but it's not. It's so that when you tighten down now, that's applying leverage to the other end and grips that brake pipe really, really well. You can do it by hand, but I would just nip it up at the end. And then the die goes on. I think that's too much sticking out there, so I'm going to back off a little bit. Right, I've probably got a little bit less than 4 mil, 3.5 mil. So the die goes on. Connect up this part of the tool. Wind it in. And then you just tighten it up. And as that presses down, it's forming the flare on the end of the brake pipe. Die out the end, just have a look on here. Can see that's nicely central, so that's a good end. There we go, simple as that. Right, so there's my brake pipe fitted. I think that looks quite neat. Got the clips there. I shaped it up against the old one. It's exactly the same shape, or near as damn it. So next bit, I think battery cable on, rear subframe mount. So I can never quite remember the routing for that battery cable, but I'll get it up in the air and then we'll have a look. Right, so next step, I need to get up underneath, do those subframe bolts and put the battery cable in. I'll then have to take the ramps back out again and get it up with the wheels off, because I've got to get the drive shafts out of the way so I can get the engine in. The engine's down there. As you can see, I've put the pot joints on now. It's looking really good. There are still a few things that I need to do on the engine. Those chest plate covers, for instance, and I need to find another breather. Someone mentioned, actually, a few people have mentioned now about using the breather that end of the engine. I thought that was blocked off, but looking at it, it's got a plate on it. So that might be ideal. Let me turn you around and have a look. Yeah, so one of the problems I've got with the supercharger's over here. This breather at the back of the engine gets in the way. So you need to run another breather. Someone mentioned it, but I assumed mine was blocked off, and I thought, it's too late now, I've put the transfer case on, but this has got a plate over it. I'll whip that off, but it's looking like I can probably just get like a breather that goes on this end of the engine, and that will sort out my engine breathing. That would be really, really handy. Let me just whip that off and have a look. Right, so that's really good news. It's not blanked off, so I just need to get a breather for this end of the engine. I can then just run two blanked off tappet chest cover plates like that, just two like this, and I'll have breathing at this end of the engine. So I'm going to put the bolts back in that for the moment, just so nothing gets down in a hole. But yeah, great, and thanks for the tips on that. I thought it was blocked off, but it's not. Brilliant news. Just before I get underneath, you might see I'm a little bit hot at the moment. Now, for those that don't live in the UK, it usually just pisses hard with rain all the time. It rains a lot over here, and it's never very, very warm. In particular, I'm on the south-east coast of England. We're on our third heat wave, and by heat wave, it's been a week plus each time, and each time it's plus 28, 30 degrees. It's extremely hot. Just before the heat wave, I bought an air conditioning unit. It broke, I had to send it back, and then since then, you just cannot get air conditioning units or portable ones for love nor money. I think the heat wave extends across Europe. I saw an air conditioning unit on Facebook Marketplace the other day, like a 350, 400 pound one. Someone's selling it for 900 quid, so people clearly profiteering. But yeah, we're just not used to this heat. I've got to put my overalls on to get underneath. Really not looking forward to that. I might just get dirty. But yeah, it's not usually this nice and warm in the UK. And I say nice and warm, never thought I'd get to the point where I'd actually say it's too much. It's uncomfortably warm. Right, let's crack on. I'll stop moaning.
This continues tonight on Radio 1. Because after Jay Buki, we have this man stepping into the children and bass mix tonight. He goes by the name Logistics.
that has taken flipping ages to do some really quick and easy jobs. It's just the heat. I really feel for the people that look like that. If anyone watches Cletus McFarland in Florida, yeah, I really feel for those guys, but they have like air conditioning in their workshops. Don't have nothing like that in here. Right, let's have a quick look where we're up to. So first thing I did was to put new bolts in the teardrop mounts. Because I'd used old ones, I try to use all new hardware when I go back together. If anyone wants a tip, this is my nuts and bolts collection. They're all UNF, which is for a Mini. I just buy them on eBay. Just search up like Mini nut and bolt rebuild kit, and yeah, they do them in like 660 piece, 240. But they're all sort of common mini sizes. Sometimes you have to trim down bolts, but works pretty well. They're never that expensive. So teardrop mounts are done. Brake pipe I already talked about. I need to make this piece quickly. I'm going to make that before I put the engine in, because this just gives me a bit more room. And then underneath, our battery cable is now run and all clipped in. Pretty sure it's where it should be clipped. Battery cable's really important to make sure they're clipped in the right places, because yeah, I see plenty of Minis that have caught fire because battery cables have rubbed. We've got the gear linkage in, we've got the rear subframe bolts all done up now. Yeah, I need to get it off the ramps, get it on axle stand, probably move it back a bit to give me a bit more room, and we can pop the engine in. I'll be back in a moment. I'll make up that brake pipe first. Right, I think that's the engine just about ready to go in. I've got everything out the way. I've probably forgot something. Drop it in the comments if I have. It'll be too late. I will have already made the mess up by the time this video goes out. Got all the wires out the way. That's that brake pipe. So these tightened up here, tightened there. Not tightened there and not tightened here, because you need to allow the brake hoses to potentially twist to orientate them correctly on the calipers. So yeah, we are just about ready to roll that engine in, I think. Obviously I've got my joints out the way, gear levers out the way. Should be quite straightforward. On the engine, so we've got new engine mounts either side. Pot joints are in. I'm just going to grease the pot joints, put some CV grease in them, and that is ready to drop in. Right, so I think we're going to have to end the video there. I did want to get the subframe installation and the installation of the engine all in one video, but once I went back and reviewed the content, there was just too much. So I've had to split it in two parts. In the next episode, I will be getting that engine in under the engine bay, and we might even mock up the supercharger to see what it looks like. So thanks for tuning in again this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, more than half of you aren't. So please do help me grow the channel. Hit that subscribe button. It's completely free and there's no catches. And if you want to leave me a comment, I do read all the comments. Really appreciate your support. I'll catch you again next week. Cheers.